Hi again, everybody, from Goss Stadium at Coleman Field on the campus of Oregon State University in Corvallis, along with Casey Lavin, Thomas Rudolph, Andrew Henderson, Brooks Hatch, Garrett Dworshak, Dale Hummel, and others. This is Mike Parker welcoming you to tonight's West Coast League game between the two division leaders, Kelowna out of the Grade North and the Corvallis Knights. The six-time back-to-back West Coast League champions leading the South, winners of 7 straight, including last night's ball game. The Knights will look to make it 8 in a row and win their 3rd consecutive series in second half play in their bid to make sure that they make the playoffs again, something that they have always done since arriving in Corvallis in the summer of 2007. There has not been a postseason in which they've not been a part, and they've won the last 6 championships and 9 overall. This season, it feels as though the team is finding its stride, coming together at the right time, maybe a little bit later than some of the other clubs have in summers past. One of the guys that I think has helped make a difference in that direction is our pregame show guest coming up here in a moment, Mason Lee, who helped the Knights win their 6th straight championship last year, began the summer in another league and for another organization. And by his own words, and we've talked a little bit about it off and on since he arrived with the team a few weeks ago, back from that experience in another league with a different team, Mason found that what was going on, at least on that team in that league, was not the same. Of the kind of work, the work ethic, the approach to work, the approach to having a great time, yes, but also getting better and working together as a team with a common goal of winning. Mason Lee articulates all of that tonight with yours truly coming up on our pregame show. We appreciate you tuning our way. We'll have the starting lineups and first pitch after that. For the Knights, it'll be Jacob Wright. Jackson Bird will get the start for Kelowna. But first things first, a conversation with a very engaging, talented young man. Began the season elsewhere, found his right spot again with the Corvallis Knights, and we hope that it'll help Catherine and Tuan get through the Los Angeles traffic tonight back in the dear old Southland where Mason is from. So that's coming up next, a conversation with Mason Lee after a 2-minute break ahead of the Knights and Kelowna on the Knights live stream and 1240 Joe Radio. Back at Goss Stadium at Coleman Field, another nice night for baseball, and the Knights hope to keep their streak rolling. A guy that's helped them kind of get back into the mode that I know he's familiar with as a member of the champion Knights a year ago. Mason Lee joining me here in the pregame show. We'll start with a shout-out to your mom, Catherine, maybe your father, Twan. I had the pleasure of meeting them the other night, Mason, and it was your mom who said that the live stream broadcasts help her get through some L.A. traffic. So if she's in it tonight, anything you want to share with her?
Just thank you, Mom. Love you. Thanks for all the support. Same with you, Dad. I appreciate you guys. I already miss you, even though you left, but can't wait to see you guys soon.
It was really nice of them to come up and say hello and introduce themselves. And I shared with them, I was looking forward to talking to you a little more in depth about the fact that you are back with the Knights. I don't want you to necessarily, I think the expression is, I've lost it here in a moment. But I'm not asking you to throw anybody under the bus. There it is. That's what I was looking for. However, you did make a choice to come back here for a reason. What can you share with us about that?
I was basically just on a different team in a different organization that had very different ideals and a way of going about the business towards baseball that I didn't really align with and that I've never really been accustomed to. So to keep it, short, just it wasn't where I belonged. I was there for about a week, and I kind of knew right away that I wasn't going to be a good fit. So I was very happy and fortunate that Coach Knight, picked up the phone when I called him and said, just give me a day, let me talk to Dan, and he got the job done, and I'm very grateful to be back.
Grateful, and I imagine, too, maybe even relieved, because you weren't quite sure what Brooke was going to say when you called him, right?
100%. I mean, obviously with summer ball, everyone's rosters are always moving and changing, so hopefully the right time had to come, and thankfully it did, and, I'm just thankful to be back.
So, again, without, we haven't even identified the league or the team, we don't need to, but what you found there was not what you find here. What is it that's unique about this place?
I just think it's the best organized group to get better at the college level and eventually hopefully move on to the professional level, because it's just when you really just comes down to caring about the work that you put in, the time, the effort, and the relationships that you have. So everything about this place has all that kind of stuff, and that's really what I look for in anything, any team, any organization, anything that has to do with that type of stuff in life. So that's why I love it here so much.
Mason Lee joining us on this Knights live stream and pregame show. So that said, what is it this year with this year's team? Every team is different. Every group of guys, the dynamics, the chemistry, camaraderie, all of those things, different, but do you still feel the same kind of vibe with guys trying to win another championship?
Yeah, I definitely think every team is different, like you said, and, when I got here, things weren't amazing to start, but I think we're definitely trying to find our identity and starting to understand the kind of things that we need to do to win a baseball game, and it's a different guy every night. That's the best part about it. It's not just one guy that's carrying the whole team, and I think that's what this team is everyone has each other's backs, everyone has that same goal, but you got to take it one day at a time.
Mason, without necessarily patting yourself on the back, and I'm not going to ask you to do it, I don't think that's your style, but when you got back here, you kind of looked around, felt the vibe. It may have been a little different. This group, this team has begun to find its way, clearly. But do you think there was a little bit in Brooke Knight's mind, perhaps, Coach Nags, Coach Yoon, Bo, everybody like, hey, we got a guy that knows the territory. I mean, you know what this program's all about.
Yeah, I mean, it's always good to have gone through the experience once and have an idea of kind of the map to get back to where we want to get back to. So I just try and do my best to open my teammates' eyes to the kind of stuff that we have to do to get back there, whether it's, just the little things of hustling everywhere or, not putting too much pressure on yourself in a big situation, whatever it takes. Just want to try and help everyone get better and carry it on for the rest of their careers.
Mason Lee, my guest. Mason, from a pure baseball standpoint, what is this summer about for you, just in terms of your game, technique, form, mechanics, all of the things that you're working on at the plate and in the field?
Yeah, I've been struggling a little bit, but I try to not look into it too much, as long as whatever I'm doing positively affects the outcomes of winning, because that's really all that matters at the end of the day. The numbers don't really matter, so much to me. So improving just barreling the ball as much as I can, staying consistent on defense, and really just leading the guys and trying to be that veteran aspect to a group that has a lot of young guys. And the leadership aspect really helped me last year, and it helped me into my season at CSUN prior, and I'm just trying to continually grow off of that.
Speaking of CSUN as we close, what's your anticipation for what's ahead? I mean, in terms of how you guys did this year, the kind of group you got back, you'll be a big part of it, but what are your thoughts about where you guys are?
Yeah, I mean, we're definitely going to lose a couple guys to the draft, a couple guys to the portal, so it'll be a different environment when we go back to see who exactly we do have returning. But, I mean, it was a great season. We were literally one game away from making a regional, so you kind of carry that with you the whole season until we get to play in 2024. And, whoever we have coming in under, our Coach Eddie, I think we'll have the right idea of how we need to work and what we need to do to get back to where we were and keep going.
And finally, whatever unfolds next spring at Northridge, you have a chance to win another championship here. And I know that doesn't get as much attention so on as the NCAA season and the college season and the regional supers, college World Series. I know that, we all know that, and yet, how important would it be to you and your teammates here to make it 7 in a row for the Knights?
Yeah, it would be definitely the cherry on top. I mean, that's what we came here to do. That's what this program does. But, like we keep saying within our team, is just take it one day at a time, one game at a time, and let everything else take care of itself.
Mason, it's great to have you back. I'm glad you're here again. Thanks for taking time. I appreciate it, and hope that helped Catherine and Tuan get through whatever they're in right now. Thanks for taking time, Mason. I appreciate it.
No problem. Thank you very much for having me.
Mason Lee, my guest. We've got the lineups in the first pitch just around the corner. Another nice night for baseball as the Knights continue to try to stay hot and win another series. The Knights in Kelowna coming up on the Knights live stream and 1240 Joe Radio. Left-hander Jacob Wright loosening up with his battery mate Tyler Howard, getting ready to face the following lineup for the Kelowna Falcons as announced by their manager Angelo Loomis. Leading off at second base, Jonas Salk. Yes, same spelling. And yes, he's a descendant of, as he was described when he developed the first vaccine against polio, as a miracle worker and did not seek to monetize it in any wise way. A great man, a genius, the virologist Jonas Salk, and the batter coming to the plate, a descendant of that great figure in world history. Jonas Salk leading off at second base. Luke Solis batting second at shortstop. Griffin Palfrey batting third at first base. Connor Palmera, the cleanup hitter, in DH. Kyle Corso batting fifth in left field. Trey Duffield hitting sixth in right. Trevor Wilson batting seventh in center. Austin Gutierrez hitting eighth at third. Cameron Mercurio batting ninth and catching. And Jackson Bird on the mound, a left-hander out of Sacramento State. So it's a battle of southpaws here tonight, with Jacob Wright delivering a first pitch, swung on by Salk and fouled at the plate. The 0-1 pitch to Jonas, taken for strike two. No balls and 2 strikes to Jonas Salk, leading things off for Kelowna. The strike two pitch, swung on and fouled at the plate. Tyler Howard not quite able to squeeze it. Jacob's battery mate, Jacob Wright, as always, sets a very quick tempo, and that is certainly something that his teammates love. The strike two pitch down and in, 1-2 the count. I heard David Cohn the other day reflecting on his own perfect game, I think in the '99 season, talking about how when he came to the big leagues, the pitch swung on and missed at Jonas Salk, strike three. So a good start for Jacob Wright, one away, and Luke Solis the batter. I can't remember whom he said imparted to him, kid, work fast. You want your defense to play behind you, work quickly, work fast. And so he would certainly, Jacob Wright would fit right in with that Yankee culture. And he's a good practitioner of the modern game, what with the pitch clock era we live in. Luke Solis takes a strike. Wright comes right back and delivers strike two. 0-2 to Luke Solis, right-hand hitting shortstop for Kelowna. As we get underway, Jonas Salk striking out. Jonas having a good summer at .304, a homer and 20 runs batted in. Strike two pitch grounded slowly by the mound, charged by Mason Lee. The Knights second baseman fields and throws out Solis. 2 down, and Griffin Palfrey will come to the plate. For the Knights defensively, Wright and Howard the battery. Ethan Hedges at first, Mason Lee at second, Ty Yukamoto at short, Tyler Quinn at third, Levi Jones in left, Ethan Hott in center, Sam Stem in right. First pitch fastball from Jacob Wright, misses high to Palfrey. 1 ball and no strikes, 2 outs, nobody on. Palfrey at .215 with 12 runs batted in. A two-way player for this Kelowna Falcon baseball team. The 1-0 pitch misses to Griffin for ball 2. Connor Palmera on deck. 2 balls, no strikes, 2 outs. Jacob Wright back to the plate. The 2-0 pitch is hit foul off first. The wind that we have pushes this from the area of the concourse into the stands, and somebody that brought a glove puts it to good use and makes the catch. Nice play for the first action for the fans tonight here at Goss Stadium at Coleman Field. 2 balls and a strike to Griffin Palfrey. Fastball from Jacob, swung on and missed, and the count 2-2. Jacob Wright off to a good start, 2 quick outs, and even here, 2-2, comes to the plate off speed and down and in. Jacob 13 in the third innings, 10 hits. He's walked 12, struck out 11, a record of 1-1 and an ERA of 4.05. The 3-2 pitch, a check swing. Did he go? I believe he did. On appeal, swings as the base umpire, and the inning is over. The home plate umpire did not ratify the strikeout as the Knights, led by Tyler Howard, was jogging off the field towards the dugout. Finally, on appeal, the base umpire plays along and says, yeah, he went. And I think he did. So all things work out well here in the top of the first for Jacob Wright. He retires the Falcons in order with 2 punch-outs. We go to the bottom of the first. We'll give you the Knights lineup against Kelowna left-hander Jackson Bird when we return in 90 on the Knights live stream and 1240 Joe Radio. J.C. Ing will lead things off for the Corvallis Knights. He's in the designated hitter's role against left-hander Jackson Bird, who starts J.C. with a fastball for a strike. 0-1, no score, bottom of the first inning. Bird making his 7th appearance, his 4th start, 17 2/3, 25 hits, 13 earned. The strike one pitch hit high in the air on the left side. Moving back is the shortstop, Luke Solis. And just before crossing into foul territory, makes the catch on J.C. One away in the bottom of the first, and Tyler Quinn, the batter. And just taking a look at the line on the season for Jackson Bird, he's given up 18 runs, 5 of them unearned, 13 walks, 17 strikeouts, a record of 0-3 and an earned run average of 6.62. Kelowna's defense letting down their pitchers last night, and clearly on occasion they've done that with Jackson Bird, who misses on the first pitch to Tyler Quinn. The 1-0 pitch in there for a strike to the Knights' right-hand hitting third baseman and leading hitter. He swings and slaps one foul down towards Casey Corner in the Jack Riley Concourse area. The count moves to 2-1 to Tyler. Standing in at 304, a couple of homers and 20 runs batted in. Blake Avila climbed back over the 300 mark. Tyler and Blake, the lone 300 hitters. Blake getting a night off tonight. The pitch to Tyler Quinn misses just outside from Jackson Bird. 2 balls and 2 strikes with 1 out, nobody on in the bottom of the first. Jackson to the plate, throws about a 57-footer. It bounces all the way to the backstop. The count goes full, 3-2. J.C. Ing, the DH. Tyler Quinn in the 2-hole at third. Sam Stem batting third and right. Ethan Hedges, the cleanup hitter, at first base. Levi Jones batting 5th in left field. The 3-2 pitch to Tyler Quinn misses high and away for ball 4. So Tyler becomes the Knights' first base runner, a 1-out free pass, and Sam Stem, the batter. Sam hitting .252, a team leading 3 homers and a team leading 29 runs batted in. Sam swings and lifts one to center field. Trevor Wilson, though, is right there to make the catch. Sam offering at the first pitch, flies out. The Knights last night, just to give you a sense, we won't see it again, and may not see it again ever, for that matter. Not one of those earth-shattering sort of moments and achievements, but still unique in that last night the Knights in the bottom of the first inning had 3 sacrifice flies. They won't get a single one here in the bottom of the first tonight. A blooper into right field for a base hit. Tyler Quinn with 2 outs was on the move on contact. He races into third base on the bloop single to right for Ethan Hedges. Runners at the corners and 2 down. The Knights did score 3 on those 3 sacrifice flies in the first inning last night. We'll try to get on the board here from the get-go tonight. Levi Jones, the batter. Ethan Hedges with the bloop single to right field, also a threat to run. .298, a homer, 23 runs batted in. And indeed, Hedges goes, and there's no play. And Ethan picks up the stolen base. That means another contribution to Community Outreach, Inc. from the combined efforts of All Pro Property Services and Papay Material Handling. Ethan now 8 for 10 on the year in that category. Levi Jones looking for a 2-out, 2-run single. He takes the 1-0 pitch just outside, ball 2, 2-0. Ethan hot on deck. Levi at .268, a homer, 7 runs batted in, has the count his way. 2 balls and no strikes. Jackson Bird to the plate, inside for ball 3. Bird does have a base open, but he's got a right-handed hitter in hot on deck. The lefty will try to come back now, down 3-0 against the left-hand hitting Levi Jones. Tyler Quinn at third, Ethan Hedges at second, 2 down. Levi takes the 3-0 pitch, a high strike. Not an oxymoron, just a pitch in the upper part of the zone. 3 balls and a strike to Levi. Bird from the stretch with runners at second and third delivers. Levi swings and gets a piece of it. 3-2 the count. It is a pleasant Wednesday evening, a little bit on the hazy side. It's been a little hazy all day long. I have variant readings on our AQI again. One says 15, one says 45. It feels like it's somewhere in the middle. 3-2 the count to Levi Jones. A ground ball slowly to short, charged by Luke Solis. Up with it and throws Levi out, and the inning is over. No runs, a hit, 2 left in scoring position at the end of 1 in Game 2 of this 3-game series between the Knights and Kelowna. It's the Falcons nothing, the Knights nothing on the Knights live stream and 1240 Joe Radio. Connor Palmera swings at the first pitch from left-hander Jacob Wright to open the top of the second inning. No score. Kelowna and the Corvallis Knights. The strike one pitch missing to Connor. 1 ball and 1 strike. Palmera swings at the fastball and doesn't get it. Palmera at 266, 7 runs batted in. He's walked 12 times, second on the club. He's down in the count here, 1-2. It's a 2-hopper right at night, second baseman Mason Lee, who was perfectly positioned to field and throw Palmera out. 1 away. Palmera makes out to open the inning. Young man out of Cal State Bakersfield. And that brings to the plate Kyle Corso. We didn't see Kyle in last night's ball game. Right-hand hitting left fielder for Kelowna. Corso at 250. He's muscled up for 3 homers with 12 runs batted in. The first pitch missing. The 1-0 pitch pulled foul. Outside of third. In the count, 1 ball and 1 strike to Kyle Corso. Kyle, another of the intelligent ones in our ballpark tonight. Out of Columbia College, an Ivy Leaguer out west. The 1-1 pitch missing low, ball 2, 2-1. No score, top of the second inning. The 2-1 fastball a little low from Jacob, ball 3. I think it's Tad Boyle, who the head basketball coach at Colorado, if I'm remembering correctly. Tad has not been a big guy in the transfer portal. You have to be to survive these days, though, so he's begun to adapt. The 3-1 pitch to Corso misses for ball 4. Jacob Wright issuing the walk to Kyle with 1 out, and Trey Duffield the batter. But in dipping into the portal, Tad Boyle going about things in his rather idiosyncratic way. Thank you, Brooks. He has found players from the Ivy League to come help. He said, hey, you get guys from there, they're ready to come in, and they can do anything you ask them to do. They're smart basketball players. So I kind of like the Boyle doctrine. Trey Duffield takes outside, ball one. No score, top of the second inning. Out of the stretch works Jacob Wright. Kyle Corso gets his lead, a line drive base hit to center field. Ethan Hott charges and plays the ball on a couple of hops and throws back into Tyler Quinn. Trey Duffield, a solid single to center, and Kyle Corso, 6'3", 205-pounder out of Columbia, stops at second base. First and second and one out for Trevor Wilson. Yeah, I'm going to talk about it at some point. Thanks, Brooks. He said, first night's game ever, he said. Yeah. Brooks Hatch has handed me some notes and said, did you see Fink? And I said, yeah, I saw Fink. Steve Fink is here, the outstanding sports information director I had the pleasure of working with for my first 17, 18 years with Oregon State football, men's basketball. Great guy. One of my good friends in the community all these years with Oregon State, year 25 coming this fall. Trevor Wilson taking a strike. The 0-1 pitch is low. Doc Fink, one of the guys that helped make me feel very welcome here upon arriving in the spring of '99. He's been a good friend ever since. However, good friends though we are, this is the first time he's ever been to a Corvallis Knights game. Tyler Howard does not catch the 1-1 pitch, and I think he was crossed up by the pitch. He was looking for something else. He should have caught it. I think it'll go as a wild pitch, but Tyler was confused, I think, and they weren't on the same page. It'll go as a wild pitch, sending Kyle Corso to third. Duffield with a solid single to center into second. And now Trevor Wilson with a count of 1-1 strike has an opportunity to give the Falcons the early lead. Trevor out of UC Irvine and from Fresno. Tyler Howard and Trevor Wilson now juxtaposed with Tyler in the catcher's box. The right-handed hitter Wilson takes high, ball 3-1. First base is open. Austin Gutierrez on deck. A couple of tall, athletic runners on the bases at the moment for the Kelowna Falcons in Corso and Duffield. The 3-1 pitch fouled at the plate to run the count to 3-2. Duffield at 6'3" out of Rice. Corso, the runner at third, at 6'3" out of Columbia. They look the part. 3 balls and 2 strikes to Trevor Wilson. Jacob to the plate, hit on the turf to the right side. It'll score a run. Second baseman Mason Lee fields and throws out Trevor Wilson. On the play, Kyle Corso comes in to score. Kelowna leads it 1-0. Trey Duffield into third, and Austin Gutierrez will be the hitter. Trevor Wilson picking up the run batted in, getting the job done. The Knights had their infield back at this early stage of the ball game. Ground ball towards the shortstop's left. Ty Yukamoto goes and gets it and throws across to Ethan Hedges. So if the scoring's pass ball, that run is unearned. Wild pitch would render it earned. And we'll see. It'll all sort itself out. But whatever the case, a run in the inning on a hit and a walk, no errors, and 1 left. Kelowna takes the early lead after 1.5. The Falcons 1 and the Knights nothing on the Knights live stream and 1240 Joe Radio. 1-0 Kelowna, an earned run in that the official scorer said wild pitch, even though there was a bit of a cross-up and the pitch didn't miss by that much. But we hope Tyler and Jacob have worked things out. Now Jackson Bird with a 1-run lead delivers a strike one pitch to Ethan Hott, who hits a fly ball to his opposite number. Center fielder Trevor Wilson makes the catch. One away in the bottom of the second. Mason Lee to the plate. Well, it is a pleasure to have Steve Fink in the ballpark. His first ever Corvallis Knights game. It took Steve a long time to find his way into the ballpark, in that the Knights have been playing here since the summer of 2007. But here he is with Jeff and Julie Mars, who are the host family for Levi Jones. And so it's, I'm sure, a great experience for Steve. He'll have a good time and be back. Mason Lee takes a strike, our pregame show guest. Jackson Bird comes back with the 0-1 pitch, cued towards Ed Nags. Coach Eddie has it go under his hand and down the line. He gives chase, the pride of Hart High School. William S. Hart, a legendary Western filmmaker, I believe. Filmmaker, direct. I think he developed that the famous shot of the cowboy riding off into the sunset. William S. Hart. The strike two pitch hit foul over my head into Urchin Alley. The count remains no balls and 2 strikes. Over the heads not only of yours truly, Mike Parker, Rod Porsche is here, Ben Crockett here, and legendary coach Nick McWilliams is here tonight. Fastball up and in, the count 1-2. Katie McWilliams, a great player at Oregon State, and Nick just informed me that Katie is getting married this Saturday. So congratulations to Katie and Kevin Stanley. They're both great coaches. They're both tall. Katie at 6'2", Kevin at 6'5". Ground ball to third, so when they have children, the coaches will be on the recruiting trail early. Ground ball to third, fielded by Tyler Quinn. He throws across to first for out number 2, Tyler Howard, the batter. So my sense is Nick McWilliams being here tonight with a wedding Saturday. He's getting a little bit of a break coming out to the ballpark. One of his former players, Ben Crockett, is here too, and they've remained friends through all the years. So as much of a taskmaster as I'm sure Nick McWilliams was as a coach, demanding excellence and attention to detail, Ben and Nick have stayed close through the years, and that's good to see. 2 down, nobody on. Tyler Howard, the batter. The first pitch missing to the Knights catcher. The 1-0 pitch from Jackson Bird in there for a strike. 1-1 the count. 2 down, nobody on. Bottom of the second, 1-0 Kelowna. The run was earned, as deemed by the official scorer Brooks Hatch, who brought me the report on former Knights and Beavers, which we'll get to. Howard takes a strike in the count 1-2. And to ask if I'd seen Steve Fink. Yes, he's here. Fly ball to center field. Trevor Wilson is right there to make that catch. 2 putouts in the inning for Trevor. Jackson Bird off to a good start. At the end of 2, the Falcons 1 and the Knights nothing. On the Knights live stream and 1240 Joe Radio. Cameron Mercurio swings at the first pitch and hits it foul. The count, no balls and a strike to the right-hand hitting catcher. 1-0 Kelowna. Cam Mercurio, Jonas Salk, and Luke Solis. The strike one fastball, firm, a little high. 1 ball and 1 strike the count. The 1-1 pitch, and that's a good fastball. Swung on and missed. The count 1-2, in that he just, in that case, overpowered Mercurio, teammate of Mason Lee at Cal State Northridge. And he chases a fastball. Swung on and missed, strike 3. The third strikeout for Jacob Wright. And the top of the order coming up now, Jonas Salk, who struck out to open the game. Mercurio striking out. Out of Enix High School is Cameron. Hit .360 in limited action this past spring. Out of Modesto Junior College. First pitch from Jacob Wright to Jonas Salk misses. The 1-0 pitch, chopped foul in front of the Corvallis Knights dugout, and the count 1-1. I'm a little surprised. I realize that, you know, the whole, you know, have you ever heard of Brooks Robinson question? We've kicked that around a little bit, and many of the young players haven't. I bounced it around here to a couple of the young folks. Jonas Salk, have you ever heard that name? And the answer was no, no, no. Yeah, it was probably closer thus in my time that we were, that's a name I remember hearing when I was very young, for his incredible work in developing a vaccine for polio. 2-2 changeup from Jacob Wright, beautiful pitch. Swung on and missed for strike 3, 2 down. Yeah, I realize now, I suppose then and throughout, there's always been a certain level of controversy over that whole realm and that field, and I think I remember over the last few years that conversation coming up a little bit in a controversial manner. But what Salk's vaccine accomplished was essentially the eradication of polio in our lifetime. Incredible. The pitch to Solis high. The 1-0 pitch fouled back, and the count 1-1. One ball and 1 strike the count. So that being the case, he's a true hero. And I learned about him when I was in elementary school. I don't know if those sorts of things, I remember learning about it in the 2nd or 3rd grade. I don't know if that kind of thing is, do our kids still learn about stuff like that? I don't know. Haven't been a kid for a long time. We're in those rooms. The 2-1 pitch swung on and missed, and the count 2-2 to Luke Solis. Jacob to the plate and misses high, ball 3, 3-2. 2 outs, nobody on in the 3rd. Kelowna picked up a run last inning. Jacob Wright has struck out the first 2 Falcons in the 3rd. Comes back to the plate. 3-2, breaking ball taken, strike 3 called. And he strikes out the side, does Jacob Wright, getting Mercurio, Salk, and Solis, and retires the Falcons in order. 5 strikeouts on the evening through 3 for Jacob Wright. After 2.5, Kelowna won, the Knights nothing, on the Knights live stream and 1240 Joe Radio. No cheering from the press box. I think Red Smith, the title of a book of essays by one of the more elegant sports writers in the history of our lives. No cheering in the press box. Well, I was cheering because I'm not in the press box for one, and it wasn't on the air yet. And I cheer Tai Yukamoto with a drag bunt base hit to open the bottom of the third. That was happening while we were still in break. A beautiful drag bunt single for Tai Yukamoto to open the bottom of the third with Kelowna leading 1-0. J.C. Ing, the batter. J.C. takes high, ball one. Yukamoto, the tying run at first base against left-hander Jackson Bird. The second hit of the evening for the Knights. 1-0 Kelowna, bottom of the third. The 1-0 pitch to Ing nearly grazed his jersey. J.C. taking inside for ball two, 2-0. AAA night here at the ballpark, and not the minor league version AAA baseball. No, AAA, whom we've all called upon at some point in our lives and been very thankful for their services. And it's one of those things. Do you have triple? No, but I've got triple. Okay, well, I'll put you on my AAA. We'll give them a call, and they'll come take care of you. That's a beautiful thing. The 2-0 pitch, low and inside, ball three. Now, I know maybe the system isn't supposed to work that way, but I think we've all worked the system. I'm sorry. I know I have a time or two. Both helping others and getting help, depending on the current state of affairs with membership. But they have a membership drive going on in the concourse tonight here at Goss Stadium at Coleman Field, behind the Knights dugout, the third base side in the Jack Riley concourse. The pitch to J.C. Ing is inside for ball four. So the Knights down 1-0, winners of 7 straight in the bottom of the third, with an opportunity to change that a little bit here with Tyler Quinn, the batter. First and second, nobody out. Tyler Quinn with 2 sacrifices on the season. My guess he's going to try to get another. Nope, he's not bunting. He hits a ground ball to the left of the second baseman, Salk. Goes to second for 1, on to first, not in time. Good play by Jonas Salk to his left. An accurate throw to Luke Solis. And just too much speed on the part of Quinn, and the ball was hit to the left of Salk. So not a tailor-made double play ball by any means. J.C. Ing erased on the fielder's choice, 4-6. First and third and 1 out. Tai Yukamoto, the tying run, 90 feet away. And a visit to the mound by Angelo Loomis, the head coach for the Kelowna Falcons. 1-0 Falcons, bottom of the first. The series concludes tomorrow night at 6:35, and it brings to an end what has been, no matter what happens, even tonight or tomorrow night, a very successful homestand. The Knights are 5-0 on it, trying to go to 6-0 tonight. This is on this pleasant Wednesday evening, AAA night, as I mentioned, and Knocking Point Wines Wednesday. Tomorrow night, Military Appreciation Night and Thirsty Thursday, presented by Pioneer Connect, Oregon Army National Guard, and Marcotte Distilling. 6:35 tomorrow. A toss to first base. Tyler Quinn steps back. The Knights have a good combination here. Angelo Loomis might have gone out to talk to his entire infield and battery about the possibility of a double steal. The pitch on the way to Sam Stem is in there for a strike. 0-1 the count. Sam plied to center field in the first. If he repeats that, he will get this ball game even. The Knights' RBI leader looking for his 30th. There goes Quinn. The throw goes to the first baseman, and no throw to second from Griffin Palfrey. Quinn safely into second, and a balk has been called on Jackson Bird. And coming down the line to score the tying run, Tai Yukamoto. There is the running game and the pressure that the running game puts on the opposition. The Knights have had the best running game in the West Coast League perennially all these years, and they use it again for good measure. A balk, Yukamoto scores, and the pitch to Sam Stem is ripped into right field for a base hit. Brooke Knight is going to put a stop sign up for Tyler Quinn, with the right fielder, Trey Duffield, getting the ball back in. Brooke had a notion. He was ready to start wheeling Tyler around, but he saw the big guy Duffield get to the ball in a hurry, and with only one out, chose the better part. A chance to get a run on and out with Ethan Hedges coming to the plate. A 1-1 tie. Yukamoto coming down the line on the balk. Now Stem goes. The pitch is inside. A bluff by Cameron Mercurio. Mercurio doesn't throw to either base, and a stolen base for Sam Stem. The pitch may have been inside, but it was on the inside corner, according to our home plate umpire. So the count to Ethan Hedges is 0-1. A 1-1 tie, infield at normal depth for Kelowna. The strike one pitch down and away. 1 ball and 1 strike to Ethan Hedges. Ethan singled in the first inning and stole second. Tyler Quinn, the go-ahead run at third. Stem at second. A line drive fair down the left field line. Stem fell down to avoid getting hit, gets up and scores. Rounding third is Stem, I should say, to score behind Tyler Quinn, who did the pirouette, got up and scored. Stem right behind him to score. Hedges into second with a double. The Knights lead it 3-1. Levi Jones, the batter. The Knights have scored thrice in the inning and have opened up a 3-1 lead and have another scoring opportunity here with Levi, who grounded to short in his first at-bat. And there goes Hedges to third, and no throw. The first pitch a strike. The count 0-1. And it's time again to invoke the 1927 classic silent by Fields, Running Wild. And that's what the Knights are doing here in the third. They are running wild, and it's paying off. Another runner at third with less than 2. That's Ethan Hedges. Levi Jones rolls 1 foul, and the count no balls and 2 strikes. Yes, the great one, the great man, Fields, made silent films. He's known, of course, for his drawl and voice. And the strike 2 pitch on the way to Levi got him swinging. And down goes Jones. Ethan Hott will be the batter with 2 down, and Ethan Hedges at third. But Fields made quite a few silent pictures back at the old Long Island studios. I've only seen a couple of them. Most of them are not extant. And he didn't, he didn't need sound. He was a very gifted physical comedian. Ethan Hott swings and grounds one back up the middle. A gifted ball player with a base hit. Coming down the line to score without a play is Ethan Hedges, an RBI single for Hott, and the Knights lead it 4-1. And if I were Kelowna, I would expect Ethan Hott to be ready to take off on this running wild kind of night for the Knights. 4-1. Ty Yukamoto was balked home in response to the running game pressure. Jackson Bird committing the balk. A throw to first base, and Ethan back to the bag. 4-1 Knights. Mason Lee grounded out in his first at-bat. That was last inning. The Knights have scored 4 times. Another throw to first, and Ethan Hott back to the bag. The Falcons have some activity going on in their bullpen. A left-hander is throwing. Coach Loomis has made a visit. And the lefty's getting ready with the look of a guy getting ready to come in. Breaking ball is in there for a strike to Mason Lee. No balls and 1 strike. The Knights have plated 4 in the inning. Lead it 4-1. There goes Hott. The pitch is outside. The throw to second. Not in time. Ethan Hott with a stolen base. So the Knights running game in high gear. And a chance for a 2-out RBI for Mason Lee. Jackson Bird to the plate. The 1-1 pitch is chopped slowly up along third. Foul. Gutierrez fielding in foul territory, and good for him. He wouldn't have had a chance to get Hott otherwise. Just a comparison of the two clubs. The Knights have 82 stolen bases now, factoring in what they've gotten tonight. Kelowna has 37. Now, Kelowna's a good club, they're right in the thick of things, particularly in the second half, off to a good start, and they have a great chance to be a playoff team. But the point is that the Knights usually outdistance. That's a Coach Bill McCartney phrase, outdistance, a word Bill McCartney liked. There goes the runner again, Ethan Hott. A pop-up on the right side, the ball being pushed back towards fair territory from foul, but it's caught one step in foul grounds by the first baseman, Griffin Palfrey, to retire the side. And the Knights settle for 4. But that's a very good inning for the Knights. Hitting, running, putting pressure on, and when it's all added up, the Knights have taken the lead through 3. The Knights 4 and Kelowna 1 on the Knights live stream and 1240 Joe Radio. Through 3 innings at Goss Stadium at Coleman Field, the Corvallis Knights 4 runs, 5 hits and no errors. Kelowna 1 run, 1 hit and no errors. Left-hander Jacob Wright staked to a 3-run lead, delivers a first pitch to Griffin Palfrey. Griffin hits a ground ball to short. Tai Yukamoto throws across to Ethan Hedges. 1 pitch, 1 gone in the 4th. Connor Palmera, the hitter, the designated hitter, grounded to second in his first at-bat. Takes low and inside from Jacob, ball 1, 1-0. Jacob Wright and Tyler Howard, the Knights battery. The 1-0 pitch sliced down the right field line. Sam Stem going back, has a play and makes the catch. 2 down. Kyle Corso, who walked and scored the Falcons' lone run of the ball game, will come to the plate. Knights baseball is presented by Best Western in Corvallis. When you visit Corvallis to catch Knights baseball, we encourage you to stay at the official hotel partner of your Corvallis Knights, Best Western. They have the largest hotel rooms in the city, an outdoor heated pool. Wherever life takes you, Best Western is there. Kyle Corso takes outside, ball 1. The 1-0 pitch, fastball, swung on and missed, and the count 1-1. Wright and Howard the battery. Ethan Hedges at first, Mason Lee at second, Tai Yukamoto at short, Tyler Quinn at third, Levi Jones in left, Ethan Hott in center, and Sam Stem in right. The 1-1 pitch to Corso, down and in, ball 2, 2-1. 4-1 Knights, top of the 4th inning. Fairly strong breezes blowing out to left center field. Fastball, well located, swung on and missed again. And the count 2-2 to Kyle Corso. Doug Noche coaching at third for the Falcons. Manager Angelo Loomis at first. The 2-2 pitch is swung on and foul tipped. Tyler Howard not quite able to squeeze the tip. The count remains 2 balls and 2 strikes with 2 down. Jacob Wright fanned the side last inning. He's retired 7 straight. He has a 4-1 lead in the 4th. He misses away. Ball 3, 3-2 to Corso. Trey Duffield on deck. Jacob rocks into motion. The 3-2 fastball just missed. Ball 4. A 2-out walk to Corso. And that brings Trey Duffield to the plate.
Right fielder, number 31, Trey Duffield.
The second walk yielded by Jacob Wright. He struck out 5. The left-hander staring down Corso at first. The pitch to Duffield. Fastball just off the plate. Ball 1, 1-0. Jacob again settles in. The lefty's 1-0 pitch. Fastball outside. Ball 2, 2-0. So a nice job by the Falcons here in that with very little labor, the left-hander Jacob Wright had gotten 2 outs. Now a walk, now a 2-0 count, making him go deeper. The 2-0 pitch, a strike, and the count 2-1 to Duffield. Jacob, 6 foot, 175-pound southpaw from Paso Robles, California. Comes to the plate low, ball 3, 3-1. Trevor Wilson on deck. Jacob trying to kind of get himself back in the zone. The 3-1 pitch, he misses again, ball 4. And that has been, for Jacob, who is a gifted southpaw, the numbers coming in to tonight's start. It's clearly ball 4 that has been problematic for him. 13 1/3 innings coming into tonight's start with 12 walks. Back-to-back free passes issued here with 2 down. Trevor Wilson, the batter. First and second with 2 away. Wilson, a comebacker. Nice play by Jacob Wright. He goes up high to get it at the top of the hill and underhands to Ethan Hedges. And after just a little bit of run of losing the sharpness, makes a great pitch for out number 3. And the Falcons leave 2. And at the end of 3.5, the Knights 4, Kelowna 1. On the Knights live stream and 1240 Joe Radio. Bottom of the 4th inning, 4-1 Knights. Tyler Howard takes high and away from Jackson Bird. The 1-0 fastball misses to Tyler, ball 2. Tyler flied to center field in his first at-bat. Tyler Howard, Tai Yukamoto, and J.C. Ng in the 4th. Jackson to the plate, a strike, and the count 2-1. The Knights head to Walla Walla for 3 this weekend. The 2-1 pitch misses away, ball 3 to Tyler Howard. I was a little bit unnerved by what Casey Lavin, who's working on the headset with me tonight, said. Said including tonight, there's only 8 home games left for the Knights. I'm glad Fink got here in time. The 3-1 pitch in there for a strike, and hope you have your plans to join us too. After tonight, just 7 more. That just seems, it can't be right. But Casey's looked it up. And old Casey used to say you could look it up. The 3-2 pitch in the turf for ball 4. Tyler Howard draws a leadoff walk. Tai Yukamoto, the hitter. A left-hander had been throwing through much of last inning when the Knights scored 4 times. And that same southpaw is throwing again as Tai Yukamoto comes to the plate with the junior announcers working inside in the McGrath family press box. Bobby Merwin is here only because I have a message that I hang in there. Well, try to get to you, even take the headset off during an at-bat to make sure I convey this while I'm thinking of it. The strike 1 pitch to Yukamoto swung on and missed in the count 0-2. 4-1 Knights in the bottom of the 4th. Tyler Howard drawing the leadoff walk. Yukamoto a single last inning, a throw to first base, and back to the bag goes Tyler Howard. A beautifully placed bunt single by Yukamoto last inning to get the Knights' 4-run inning going. The strike 2 pitch, Yukamoto hits one slowly to the left of the second baseman Jonas Salk. Jonas's only play is to first to get Yukamoto on the play. Tyler Howard advances to second, 1 away, and J.C. Ng the batter. Okay, so message conveyed to Bobby Merwin, who gets a little bit of break with the junior announcers from Benton County Schools Credit Union. And I've conveyed an idea that I've been listening to these games, being outside the press box. And I indeed thank God, the universe, that I am outside the press box on this pleasant summer night. But it leaves me a little bit stymied to try to get messages sometimes. A ground ball back up the middle off the bat of J.C. Ng. Fielded by Duffield, who throws, to Jonas Salk, who throws to Palfrey for out number 2. On the play, Tyler Howard advances to third, and Tyler Quinn, the batter. Tyler has walked and bounced into a force play, scored one of the Knights' 4 runs last inning. 4-1 Knights in the bottom of the 4th. Jackson Bird has gone all the way. His problems last inning notwithstanding, he's still in there now here in the 4th in spite of the leadoff walk, trying to get through that. Quinn takes high. The 1-0 pitch to Tyler, low. Ball 2, 2-0. Two balls and no strikes. Tomorrow night, Miles Gostola will pitch for the Knights in the finale. The 2-0 pitch misses down and in, ball 3. 3-0 to Tyler. Sam Stem on deck. Quinn will be green lighted here, and he could do some damage. We'll see if he does indeed take a hack at a 3-0 pitch. He does not, because it's high and away for ball 4. With the breezes whipping up and through our adjacent to the press box area, Sam Stem, the batter. Sam has flied to right, flied to center, and singled to right last inning and scored one of the Knights' 4 runs. With a left-on-left situation here, even with the 2 walks, Kelowna maintains the status quo and leaves Bird out there. Sam takes high and inside, ball 1, 1-0. First and third, 2 down. Tyler Quinn will likely look to run. The Knights leading 4-1. And he does go on a late break. He draws the throw, tries to get into a rundown, but is tagged out. He was hoping to induce a rundown and make the Falcons make a decision with Tyler Howard, the runner, at third. The theory being he'll break when Quinn is caught in the hot box. And we never got to that. Good execution by Kelowna with Tyler Quinn thrown out 2-6 to retire the side. So Sam Stem will have a clean slate and get another shot at it when the Knights come to the plate in the bottom of the fifth. Here in the fourth, no runs, no hits, 2 walks, 1 left. And at the end of 4, the Knights 4 and Kelowna 1 on the Knights live stream in 1240 Joe Radio. Interesting little goings on, which really have no idea what it was all about. As we go to the top of the fifth, the Knights leading Kelowna 4-1. Jacob Wright missing with the first pitch, down and in to Austin Gutierrez. Austin swings with a 1-0 pitch, a ground ball to short. Tai Yukamoto fields cleanly and throws out Gutierrez. 1 away in the fifth. Cameron Mercurio, the hitter. Cameron struck out in the third. Just before this top of the fifth inning began, the home plate umpire summoned Brooke Knight out of the Knights dugout. Brooke came walking onto the field. The umpire was kind of gesturing down towards left field. Brooke walked partway down towards the Jacoby Ellsbury clubhouse in the left field corner. He peered down that way, turned around and came back, and don't really know what it was all about. Mercurio takes high, ball 1. Jacob Wright back to the plate. Fastball swung on and missed. 1 ball and 1 strike. Jacob delivers another good fastball. Swung on and missed. Mercurio went after an elevated fastball and struck out swinging in the third. Jacob Wright back to the plate. Just misses. And the count 2-2. Tough summer last summer, as we've talked about, for Jacob, in that he sat out all of the spring season and all summer with an injury. Returned to competition this past spring for Larry down at Cal Poly. He misses and the count goes full to 3-2. Back to the plate with a 3-2 pitch. Jacob delivers, swung on and rolled foul in front of the Knights dugout. 3-2 the count, 1 out, nobody on, 4-1 Knights. The left-hander rocks, kicks, and delivers just outside, ball 4. Boy, he's been very good tonight. Not quite as razor sharp as I'm sure he'd like to be in terms of ball 4. That's the 4th walk that he's issued. But he has struck out 5, including Jonas Salk, who steps in now twice. The pitch on the way. Misses a bit high. Ball one. 1-0 to Jonas. 4-1 Knights in the top of the 5th inning on this 19th of July. The 1-0 pitch, high, ball 2, 2-0. And time is called. Bo Kearns will come out. Tyler Howard will join the conversation with a 1-out walk and now a 2-0 count to Salk, and still a very competitive ball game. 4-1 Knights in the 5th. Bo is hoping to kind of help Jacob get back again into the proper frame and throw strikes. He's done a good job of that, has Jonas, tonight. But in this case, he's walked a batter with 1 out and is behind the ensuing hitter 2-0. I think in 2 days, I believe in 2 days. That's a Friday, right? Yes, that would be Friday the 21st. That's when I haven't, haven't been to a lot of motion pictures, movies in the modern era, and particularly since COVID and no movies and all of that. But I'm finally looking forward to one, to actually going to one. I did see Air recently, the local connection and legendary characters and figures in our sort of sports background history. So we did see Air at the theaters. In 2 days, Oppenheimer opens by Christopher Nolan. And just thinking about Jonas Salk and thinking about names from an era. FDR dying of complications of polio, and near the end of World War II at the time, Oppenheimer and others were working on a moment in time that changed everything, right? I am become death, the destroyer of worlds, said Oppenheimer after the test on July 16th. Alamogordo. The pitch is in there, the count 3-1. The left-hander Jacob Wright back to the plate. I'm really looking forward to the treatment that Nolan, who wrote and directed it, I believe, will give. He's a gifted filmmaker, and I'm looking forward to seeing how that film comes out. Fat Man and Little Boy, good, but not great. The runner goes, a 3-2 pitch hit foul off third. Tyler Quinn coming over along with Tyler Howard. The ball lands in the Jack Riley concourse near the AAA setup. The count remains 3 balls and 2 strikes to Jonas Salk. Cameron Mercurio was running with 1 out and 3-2. Luke Solis on deck. The Knights leading 4-1 in the top of the 5th inning. Jacob settles in from the stretch. There goes the runner again. The 3-2 pitch, a fly ball to center and playable. Ethan Hott is right there to make the catch. Good job. Very good job by Jacob Wright. Down in the count, 2-0, 3-1. And pitches to contact and gets out number 2. Mercurio heads back to first. Luke Solis, the batter. Luke has grounded to second and struck out looking.
Number 11, Luke Solis.
Now, it is possible. I think it is. In fact, yeah, it is Solis. My apologies to the young man from UC San Diego. Bobby Merwin, who I just shared a message with, should have imparted that unto me. He pronounced it properly. It is Solis. I've been saying Solis. My apologies. Luke Solis takes the first pitch out of the zone for ball 1. The left-hander Jacob Wright delivers a strike. The count 1-1 to Luke Solis with 2 outs, a man aboard. Top of the 5th, the Knights leading 4-1. The 1-1 pitch, slap foul above the Kelowna dugout on the first base side. 1 ball and 2 strikes to Luke Solis with Cameron Mercurio at first and 2 down. Probably this is the final inning of work for Jacob Wright. If he can get the out and the Knights hold the lead, he puts himself in a position to get the win. Off speed, fouled at the plate. The count remains 1-2. Jacob trying to improve to 2-1. He's had a good outing here tonight. Mercurio held on at first by Ethan Hedges. Mercurio goes. The pitch is off speed, swung on and missed for strike 3. And if that is a final pitch tonight for Jacob, that's a great note to go out on. He gets his 6 strikeout. And the Falcons are gone in the 5th. No runs, no hits, a man left. We go to the bottom half of the 5th inning. We will see a new pitcher coming into the ball game now for the Kelowna Falcons. We'll take a 2-minute pitching change break. Back in 2, the Knights 4, and Kelowna 1 on the Knights live stream and 1240 Joe Radio. Left-hander Nolan Patterson, not wearing the right number, but it's Nolan Patterson into the ball game, so I'm told, my source within the McGrath family press box. I won't disclose my source in spite of all the pressure, but I'm told it's Nolan Patterson. And Nolan falls behind, 2 balls and no strikes to Sam Stem. The Knights leading 4-1 in the bottom of the 5th inning. Nolan is listed on our roster given to us as number 24, left-hander out of Henderson, Nevada, Caden Grenier Country, Centralia College. But he is wearing either 28 or 29. That we can't quite tell either. The 3-0 pitch to Stem is high, so an inauspicious beginning for Nolan. Walking Sam Stem on 4 pitches here in the bottom of the 5th. Ethan Hedges, who's had a good ball game, singled and stole a base in the 1st, doubled home 2 runs and stole a bag in the 3rd. Left-hander Nolan Patterson delivers to Ethan. Ball 1, 1-0. 4-1 Knights in the bottom of the 5th. Sam Stem had a stolen base in the 3rd. He draws a throw from the left-hander Patterson and gets back. Patterson is making his 7th appearance. He's started 4 games. He comes to Ethan Hedges a little bit high, ball 2. In 16 1/3, 16 hits, 12 earned runs, 17 walks in his 16 1/3, 16 strikeouts, a record of 1-1, an ERA of 6.61. He delivers high for ball 2, 2-0, and that prompts a visit from Cameron Mercurio out to the mound as the breezes have indeed picked up. I'm resisting putting on the Corvallis Knights, that nightlife sweatshirt as long as I can. You don't want to lose the good of that sweatshirt in the outdoors if you put it on too early. But I'm getting close. The 2-0 pitch, fastball for a strike, and the count 2-1 to Ethan. Levi Jones on deck. The Knights with 4 in the bottom of the third. Have a 4-1 lead. Sam Stem goes, and now he should have kept going, hoping to induce a balk. The throw comes to the shortstop, now back to the first baseman. Now finally back to one of the middle infielders. That's Luke Solis, the shortstop, who makes the tag. Sam Stem got a little bit confused. I'm not sure why he didn't just keep running. He suddenly stopped about halfway to second base, allowing the lefty Nolan Patterson to step off, throw back to second, and get Sam in a rundown. And the out recorded on Stem, erasing the leadoff walk. I believe it went 1-4-3-6. Ethan Hedges thus takes the 3-1 pitch high and away for ball 4. And that therein is the bit of a problem in terms of choosing to try to go in that situation when, more power to Sam and the Knights. Sam, very gifted ball player, and it's been fun to watch him. And so sometimes in that aggressive running game, you can occasionally get burned. It's still worth having that aggressive mentality and trying to swipe the bags. But in this case, it probably would have served the Knights better with a guy struggling with his control to just stay put and let him walk the house. The 1-0 pitch now, meanwhile, to the left-hand hitting Levi Jones is in the turf for ball 2. The Knights, had they done that, would have 2 on, nobody out, and a 2-0 count now to Levi Jones. Instead, the rundown play helping it for the moment to kind of bail Patterson. The 2-0 pitch is high, ball 3, 3-0. And so that's part of just reading sort of the room, the game situation. What's the guy doing? And you don't do anything to help him. He's struggling enough to find his way to the plate, and the Knights just essentially gave him a free out. Now his 3-0 pitch is high, which would have loaded the bases, as it does. It's runners at first and second and 1 out for Ethan Hott. Ethan has flied to center and singled to center. And it looks as though we'll see a visit to the hill. I believe it's the head coach, Angelo Loomis, heading out. I do not know if that's the pitching coach, Cole Van Every. The coaches' numbers are not given. But it's just a meeting between coach and kid. Whatever it is that the coach said brought a smile to Nolan Patterson's face. So may have been sort of counterintuitive in terms of, I don't know what the coach's style is, but if Patterson was expecting something else, he ends up getting something that brings a smile to his face. The coach turns and heads back to the dugout. Patterson has walked the first 3 batters that he's faced, but he's got an out. His pitch to Ethan Hott is high, ball 1, 1-0. A right-hander throwing back of Patterson. 17 walks and 16 in the third coming in. The 1-0 pitch catches the inside corner in the count, 1-1 to Hott. Blaine Hardy, a right-hander, is loosening up, back now of Nolan Patterson. The 1-1 pitch to Hott, low and inside, ball 2, 2-1. 3 straight walks in the inning, a base running snafu providing an out for Kelowna and perhaps a means of getting out cheaply enough. The pitch to Hott, hit foul into Urchin Alley. Very little action in the alley tonight. That's maybe the first ball tonight that's gotten in back there. 2 balls and 2 strikes to Ethan. Mason Lee on deck. A big lead out at second base for Ethan Hedges. Ethan Hott takes low, ball 3, 3-2. A choice now for Brook Knight. Does he want to send runners? But then again, you might be given a free out. They don't go. The pitch to Hott, hit foul off to the right and out of play on top of the Omaha room. The count remains 3 balls and 2 strikes on this Wednesday night, AAA night at the ballpark. The AAA folks are kind of wrapped up their table and shop. Glad to have them here tonight. Ethan Hedges does go. Levi Jones does too. The 3-2 pitch is popped up in foul territory. The catcher Mercurio does not catch it. He throws the mask away. The wind pushed the ball back in closer to fair territory. Mercurio did not make the catch, and as soon as he popped up from the turf, he said something to his battery mate. Now, Oregon State fans, Ben at least one, is compelled to yell out Arkansas. That's the Arkansas play. 3-2 the count to Ethan Hott. He swings, and it's a line drive to center field. Coming in a hurry and having the ball go off the heel of his glove is Trevor Wilson into right center field. Ethan Hedges rounds third and will score with a backdoor slide. Into third base goes Levi Jones. Ethan Hott with a base hit to center field, and the Knights lead it 5-1. Good effort by Trevor Wilson. Just too tough of a chance coming in on a sinking liner. Had the ball go off the heel of his glove into shallow right. And the Knights add to their lead at 5-1. Mason Lee, the batter, runners at the corners and 1 out. The pitch on the way to Lee, fastball swung on and missed. 0-1 to Mason, who's grounded to third and popped to first. No balls and 1 strike. The left-hander Nolan Patterson comes to the plate. Good pitch under the hands of Mason, swung on and missed. 0-2 the count. Tyler Howard on deck. The Knights 4 runs in the 3rd inning. Picked up a singleton in the 5th and looking for more. There goes Hott. The pitch is swung on and missed. The throw to second, not in time. Another stolen base for the Knights. Ethan Hott getting his second, and that means with the pitch to Mason swung on and missed for strike 3, there are 2 down, and Tyler Howard the batter. Another contribution from our friends at Papay Material Handling and All Pro Property Services to the outstanding work in our community done by Community Outreach, Inc., one step closer to home. The pitch to Tyler Howard, hit foul into Urchin Alley, adjacent to the Omaha room. No balls and a strike to Tyler. 1 ball and 1 strike the count. 5-1 Knights in the bottom of the 5th inning. And a chance right here to really separate. Tyler Howard looking for a clutch 2-out hit. Patterson delivers the fastball for a high strike. Brook Knight, with his hands on his knees, drops his head down in disappointment over the call. 1-2 instead of 2-1. The 1-2 pitch bounces. Good block off the chest protector of Cameron Mercurio. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Nolan Patterson ready. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 on and 2 out. Delivers low. Ball 3, 3-2. Tai Yukamoto on deck. 5-1 Knights, bottom of the 5th inning. The 3-2 pitch, Tyler Howard, a fly ball to right field. Trey Duffield moves in to grab it. The inning is over. The Knights get 1. A base running error of sorts cost them at least 1 more, but they do get 1 and add to their lead. And we go to the 6th. The Knights 5 and Kelowna 1. A new pitcher coming in for the Knights to replace Jacob Wright. With that, we'll take a 2-minute pitching change break. The Knights 5, Kelowna 1, back in 2 on the Knights live stream and 1240 Joe Radio. Griffin Palfrey, Connor Palmera, Kyle Corso, the scheduled hitters against the new Knights pitcher, Nathan Marshall. With the Knights leading 5-1, Nathan over the top fastball in there for a strike. Out of West Albany High School and ready to compete at Lane Community College. The right-hander back to the plate. Fastball's a slicing fly to right and playable. Moving over and back is Sam Stem to haul it in. One away. Griffin Palfrey now 0 for 3, and Connor Palmera, the hitter. First Alternative Co-op is your community-owned grocery store, providing fresh, local, and organic groceries since 1970. The Co-op makes it easy for you and your family to buy local and eat healthy. Be sure to stop by their deli, enjoy their fresh brewed coffee, house-made pastries, their delicious salad bar, and much more. Everyone is welcome at the First Alternative Co-op. Marshall's first pitch, a breaking ball, misses. The 0-1 pitch fouled at the plate, or the 1-0 pitch fouled at the plate to even the count at 1-1. Ball rattling the catcher's mask for Tyler Howard. Howard has all the accoutrement on that a catcher needs. The shin guards, chest protector, helmet. The 1-1 pitch on the way. Breaking ball fouled at the plate, and the count 1-2 to Palmera, who's 0 for 2. 5-1 Knights, top of the 6th. I stagger to think that when Roger Bresnahan, the Hall of Fame catcher, developed the shin guard, the pitch is popped in the air. The Knights catcher, Tyler Howard, throws his helmet and mask aside. They did wear masks in the 1880s and so on. They were smart enough to do that, but nice play by Tyler, 2 down. There was, in the early days of Bresnahan bringing the shin guard into existence, creating them, that he was mocked. Oh, you're not a tough guy. I mean, well, it must have been a tougher time altogether, the Roger Bresnahan era. The pitch to Kyle Corso misses high, ball 1, 1-0. The 1-0 pitch missing for ball 2 to Kyle, who has walked twice, and Marshall halfway there. 2 balls, no strikes, 2 outs. 5-1 Knights in the 6th. The 2-0 pitch, a strike, and the count 2-1. I mean, just imagine Tyler Howard or Anson Arrows or anybody, Adley Rutschman. I'm a tough guy. I don't need to wear all this stuff. The 2-1 pitch hit foul. The wind's going to keep this perhaps back towards the field of play, but it does land a row deep. The one thing on nights such as this, the wind pushing across from right to left, the guys on the right side of the diamond need to pay attention and stay with it. I've seen a lot of foul balls pushed back into the field of play. The 2-2 breaking ball grounded wide of third to the hole at short. Yukamoto up with it, throws low, and a great dig by Ethan Hedges for the out. A stretch and a dig from Ethan Hedges. Good play by Yukamoto, but he needed a little bit of help to complete the putout. And Ethan Hedges is your clubhouse leader at the moment for our Washington Park Advisors player of the game with that glove work, complimenting what he's done at the plate. We go to the bottom of the 6th in game 2 of this 3-game series. The Knights 5 and Kelowna 1 on the Knights live stream and 1240 Joe Radio. Tai Yukamoto leading things off for the Knights. A looper to shallow right field. Racing in is Trey Duffield. The big guy does a nice job to read it and catch it in shallow right. Good play by Trey Duffield. One away. Yukamoto had a bunt single and scored in the third, grounded to second in the fourth. Bottom of the sixth inning, 5-1 Knights. J.C. Ing, the batter. J.C. is hit by the first pitch that he sees from left-hander Nolan Patterson. And that'll bring to the plate Tyler Quinn. If your home, office, or investment property is dirty, dingy, or worn, we encourage you to call upon family-owned All Pro Property Services because they've helped thousands get the best out of their properties. From investment, renovations, facility services, housekeeping, and move-out cleans, All Pro Property Services has the bases covered. Visit allproproperty.net for more information. Tyler Quinn takes a strike. 0-1 the count. The 0-1 fastball to Tyler misses high. Tyler has walked twice. He scored a run. Bottom of the sixth inning, 5-1 Knights seeking their 8th straight victory. J.C. Ing gets his lead from first. The 1-1 pitch missing low for ball 2, 2-1. The Knights scoring 4 runs in the third, picked up another run last inning, and trying to further separate now in the sixth. The throw to first, back to the bag steps J.C. Between innings up on the board, the 106.3 Clue FM song of the night, the sixth inning song of the night. Breakfast at Tiffany's. No one could remember the band, or even in looking it up, know how to pronounce the name of the band. So the pitch on the way, fastball inside, ball 3. We didn't get Shazam out quickly enough. 3-1 the count. The best thing about the movie Breakfast at Tiffany's is Moon River that came out of it. The 3-1 pitch, ball 4. Tyler Quinn, after J.C. Ing was hit, draws a walk, and the batter will be Sam Stem. I like the story for the most part and didn't know until recently that it was Truman Capote that wrote Breakfast at Tiffany's and made his great fame with that and In Cold Blood. And really, that was enough to just make him a celebrity for the rest of his life. 2 pretty good works, right? The pitch to Stem, he fouls it off his front foot, no balls and a strike. But the film Capote with Philip Seymour Hoffman is worth seeing just to see the incredible performance by Philip Seymour Hoffman. Lost him all too soon. What a great actor. And his turn as Capote is tremendous. But it was watching that film that he wrote Breakfast at Tiffany's. Good for him. 5-1 Knights, bottom of the sixth inning. The strike 1 pitch, a high pop-up on the left side. Going out into shallow left is the shortstop, Luke Solis, but he defers to Kyle Corso. No infield fly rule invoked. The ball was hit deeply enough to avoid that. Sam Stem flies out to shallow left, 2 down, and Ethan Hedges, the batter. Ethan's had himself a night. Singled and stole a base in the first, doubled home 2 runs and stole a base in the third, walked and scored last inning, and made the great stretch moments ago at first base. He takes in the turf, ball 1, 1-0 from Ethan Hedges. 5-1 Knights in the bottom of the sixth inning. Before the game, right before the game, Casey Lavin, who's working with me on the live stream tonight, handling the audio portion, the 1-0 pitch missing low and in, ball 2, 2-0. He was singing along to, I heard him in my headset, to Family Tradition by Hank Jr., Bocephus. And he said, yeah, I really love Hank Jr. Well, no, it's the old man who's the key to everything. The 2-0 pitch, a blooping fly ball to center. This is going to drop for a base hit and lead to another RBI for Ethan Hedges. J.C. Ing races around third and scores. Ethan Hedges puts the Knights up 6-1 with a bloop RBI single to center field. 3 RBIs on the night for the Knights. who open up the 5-run lead. On the play, Tyler Quinn stops at second. Levi Jones, the batter. Now, I like Hank Jr. too. All my Rowdy friends, family tradition. Yes, yes. But the dad, oh my goodness. Hank Sr. Casey did give high marks to John Belaya. Good for him. The pitch is in the turf. Holding at second base, Tyler Quinn. The count 1-0. If you see Ken Burns' country music documentary, they do, as well they should, a great spot on Hank Sr. And how he came to write, I Saw the Light, I'm So Lonesome I Could Cry, Cold, Cold Heart, Your Cheating Heart, World Without End, Amen. The pitch on the way to the backstop, a wild pitch. Tyler Quinn to third, Ethan Hedges into second. It is unbelievable to me when I think about Hank the Elder's song output, his incredible career, and dead at the age of 29. All that he did in 29 years, all those songs that he wrote, a true genius. I think it was in that documentary by Burns that one of the songwriter, I can't remember whom, a modern day singer in the country music genre, who said, we're going to go see, and at one point when everybody was cheering after a Hank song, they saw Hank Williams in person. And the father said to the son, who's become a country music singer in his own right in the modern era and a successful one, son, you're looking at the hillbilly Shakespeare. What a great line. I think that's the title of one of Burns' chapters in his excellent documentary on country music. The 2-0 pitch in there for a strike to Levi Jones. 2-1 the count, 6-1 Knights. Bottom of the 6th inning. Tyler Quinn at third, Ethan Hedges at second. Levi swings at the 2-1 pitch and hits it foul towards Waldo Hall to our left. The count even. 2 balls and 2 strikes with 2 on and 2 out and a run in the 6th. The Knights enjoying a 6-1 lead. And Levi Jones could really kind of deliver a knockout punch with a hit. He swings and it's a ground ball to Jonas Salk, who fields and throws to first. Levi retired and the inning is over. The Knights do get a run on a base hit by Ethan Hedges, 2 left, and at the end of 6, the Knights 6 and Kelowna 1 on the Knights live stream and 1240 Joe Radio. Through 6 innings at Goss Stadium at Coleman Field, the Knights 6 runs, 7 hits, and no errors. Kelowna 1 run, 1 hit, and no errors. Nathan Marshall's first pitch, a strike here in the top of the 7th inning to Trey Duffield. The strike 1 pitch, a little low from Nathan. 1 ball and 1 strike the count. Breaking ball foul back. And Nathan, who picked up for starter Jacob Wright, now on in his 2nd inning of work, ahead of the count 1-2 to Trey Duffield. Trevor Wilson on deck. The 1-2 fastball outside, ball 2, 2-2. Top of the 7th inning. The Knights enjoying another good ball game, up 6-1. Marshall's breaking ball hit foul over the Omaha room and out of play. The count remains 2 balls and 2 strikes. Thank you. Marshall back to the plate. Breaking ball hit sharply on a hop and under the glove of Tyler Quinn. Now, that ball was a hot smash. Tyler kind of jumped up and let the ball go under the glove, but that's not necessarily an unwise decision on his part. He will be charged with an error. It's a tough error because that ball was hit hard, but Quinn tapped his own chest after the play as if to say, my bad. It is an error on Tyler, a rare miscue there. Trevor Wilson, the batter, he bunts in the air. Tyler Howard, the catch. 1 away on the first pitch, delivered by Nathan Marshall for out number 1.
Batting for the Falcons, the third baseman number 33, Augie Gutierrez.
One away, and the batter is Austin Gutierrez. He twice has grounded to short. Marshall with a good fastball, a bit down and away. Ball 1, 1-0. Nathan set, and the 1-0 pitch swung on and missed. Good pitch, good sinker in under the hands to even the count at 1-1. Nathan making his 9th appearance. It's been a good summer for the right-hander. He comes back to the plate. The 1-1 pitch, fisted foul off first. This is one of those plays where Ethan Hedges will stay with it with that wind pushing it, and he makes an over-the-shoulder catch on a tough chance. Boy, it's a good night for Ethan all the way around. Just go ahead and retire the Washington Park Advisors Player of the Game for him right now. No discussion. I'm going to go Greg Crawford again. I don't care what anybody says. As my friend Greg used to say in sports talk radio, it's Ethan Hedges' night. The batter is Cameron Mercurio. Cameron swings and fouls one back. Good catch by Ethan on a big night for him. Mercurio with a count of 0-1 has struck out and walked. 6-1 Knights, top of the 7th. Nathan Marshall, strike 1 pitch is in there. Strike 2, 0-2 the count. Nathan Marshall making his 9th overall appearance, 25 2/3 innings, 22 hits, 9 walks, 16 strikeouts. A record of 2-2, an ERA of 2.10. He misses a little bit high. Excellent numbers for Nathan, who's served a variety of roles. 9th appearance tonight, 4 starts. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Off speed, down and away. Thank you very much, Amanda. Appreciate that. Amanda, our on-field host, taking a little time to come upstairs and take care of yours truly. The Maslow hierarchy of needs. Thank you. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. There goes a runner, and the pitch is hit over my head into Urchin Alley. Boy, a kid handling an ice cream cone is able to keep the cone intact and get to the baseball. Good work. 2 balls, 2 strikes, and 2 outs in the top of the 7th inning. Trey Duffield was running on the last pitch. The Knights leading 6-1 in the 7th. Marshall settles in at the belt. The 2-2 pitch to Mercurio misses a little high and inside, ball 3. Nathan Marshall and Tyler Howard the battery. Ethan Hedges at first, Mason Lee at second, Ty Yukamoto at short, Tyler Quinn at third, Levi Jones in left, Ethan Hott in center, Sam Stem in right. Duffield goes, the 3-2 pitch fouled at the plate. Tyler Howard not quite able to squeeze it home. The count remains 3 balls and 2 strikes here in the top of the 7th inning. Kelowna scored first in the 2nd off of Jacob Wright. A strong outing for Jacob. I've not had the pleasure of visiting with Jacob Wright on a pregame show. I'm hoping that I can change that and connect with the young man tomorrow. The 3-2 pitch with Duffield going, a fly ball to right. Sam Stem circles it, comes under it, makes the catch to retire the side. The Knights' strong pitching night continues. They've hit the Falcons through 7. We go to the bottom of the 7th. The Knights 6 and Kelowna 1 on the Knights live stream and 1240 Joe Radio. Bottom of the 7th inning. Blaine Hardy, 5'10", 180-pounder out of Louisiana State, Shreveport, and from Shreveport, Louisiana, into the ballgame to take over pitching chores for the Kelowna Falcons, and just trying to keep his team within striking distance. Blaine Hardy will face Ethan Hott, Mason Lee, and Tyler Howard, the scheduled hitters for the Knights in the bottom of the 7th. The first right-hander that the Knights have seen tonight, Jackson Bird and Nolan Patterson, the first 2 pitchers of the ball game. Now Blaine Hardy will face Ethan Hott, who has flied to center, singled home a run, and doubled home 2 runs. Been quite a night for the 2 Ethans. Ethan Hedges with 3 runs batted in. Ethan Hott has 3 runs batted in. Ethan will lead things off against Blaine Hardy, who takes over for the Kelowna Falcons. Blaine is making his 9th appearance, 8 2/3 innings, 9 hits, 7 walks, 9 strikeouts. Delivers his first pitch to the backstop. Ball 1 to Ethan. Ethan Hott looking for his 3rd hit. 6 runs, 7 hits for the Knights and an error. No, 1 run, 1 hit for Kelowna. The pitch is in there for a strike to Ethan to even the count at 1-1. Blaine Hardy delivers a jam job and a slow roller up along third. Gutierrez fields, throws to first, not in time. Ethan Hott legs it out and gets his 3rd hit of the night. Good play by Gutierrez, but Hott runs too well. Good pitch, a pitcher's pitch by Blaine Hardy. Got in on the fists, and Hott managed to muscle it up along the line at third. Mason Lee, our pregame show guest, the batter. Mason is grounded to third, popped to first, and struck out. Hardy comes set. The right-hander delivers in there for a strike, and the count 0-1. If you live or work in one of 24 Western or Central Oregon counties, then you're entitled to the membership privileges and the full financial services of Oregon State Credit Union. The strike one fastball swung on and missed by Mason. The count 0-2. You can join online at OregonStateCU.com or at one of their 15 branches. Our thanks to the credit union for sponsoring the Corvallis Knights big fireworks show on July 2nd. There goes Ethan Hott. The throw to second is in time. They finally got one. Good throw by Mercurio to the shortstop Solis, and Hott is caught stealing. Nicely done, and Mercurio pumped his fist after getting a Knight runner attempting to steal. Meanwhile, the count 1-2 to Mason Lee. It has been a long night for Kelowna in the run game, but Hott is thrown out here. The 1-2 fastball high to Mason, ball 2, 2-2. We came upon an anniversary recently of a fellow by the name of Branch Rickey. The 2-2 pitch popped up back of the plate. Mercurio has a play, backs up, and is not able to bring it in. Mercurio was just pumping the fist a moment ago after flashing a good arm to throw out Ethan Hott, attempting to steal, but no such histrionics ensue after he failed to catch the pop foul. The wind makes that a bit more adventuresome. And he just didn't get quite in the proper spot. The wind pushed it. He tried to backpedal to get under it and had the ball go off his mitt. No problem, though, because he's picked up by his battery mate Blaine Hardy, who comes back with the 2-2 pitch, swung on and missed for strike 3. No harm done in that sense. 2 down, nobody on. And Tyler Howard, the batter. The first pitch from the right-hander Blaine Hardy in there for a strike to Tyler, who was walked, flied to center, flied to right. The great Branch Rickey, who was one of the geniuses that the game of baseball has ever known, and certainly an important figure in American history, and his work with Jackie and bringing Jackie to the Dodgers. The pitch on the way, a strike, and the count 1-2. Let's just say he was a better front office general manager, shrewd player evaluator, the Mahatma. The 1-2 pitch hit foul into the seats, or into Urchin Alley where the kids give chase. 1-2 to Howard. Then he probably was as a player himself, as a big league catcher in one game. A short-lived big league catching career. He gave up 14 stolen bases in one game. The 1-2 fastball low, ball 2, 2-2. I cannot find, I was looking in an old notebook of mine for that. I know we came across the anniversary of that infamous day for Branch Rickey in the early aughts of 1900. The 2-2 pitch to Howard, he lays off, ball 3, 3-2. And it might have been that kind of game that may have been a bit of a impetus for Branch. Maybe there's other things to do in the great game of baseball. The 3-2 pitch is outside, ball 4 to Tyler Howard. Tai Yukamoto will be the batter. Tai has had a bunt single, grounded to second, and flied to right. 6-1 Knights, bottom of the 7th inning. And while the Knights don't have 14 bags tonight, the reaction of Mercurio throwing out Ethan Hott trying to steal, indicative of still a tough night. And believe me, it's not all on Mercurio. When Branch Rickey had 14 stolen bases on him, Branch may have had a little something to do with it, but sometimes bases are indeed, in fact, more often than its creditors, stolen on the pitcher himself. A throw to first base, Tyler Howard back. Blaine Hardy from the stretch. Comes to Ty, who takes low, ball 1, 1-0. Yukamoto swings, and it's a pop fly into shallow center field. Coming in a hurry is Trevor Wilson. He calls off the second baseman Jonas Salk to make the catch and retire the side.
And that's going to retire the side, keeps it as the 9-6. And the Falcons 1.
I have unofficially the Knights for 5 bags tonight, so they got a long way to go to get into Branch Rickey territory. A crowd tonight of 1,478 looking on. 1,478, another good crowd on a pleasant summer night here in Corvallis. We go to the 8th. It remains the Knights 6 and the Falcons 1. A new pitcher coming in from out of the pen, and so with that, we'll take care of some extra business. Take a 2-minute pitching change break. The Knights 6 and the Kelowna Falcons 1. Back in 2 on 1240 Joe Radio. Top of the 8th inning at Goss Stadium at Coleman Field. The Knights leading 6-1. Frank Camarillo is the new pitcher for the Knights, following Jacob Wright and Nathan Marshall. And Big Frank's first pitch misses down and in. 6'4", 198-pound right-hander delivers the 1-0 pitch, is hit foul into Urchin Alley. The Urchins play it nicely, Carl Furillo style, off the wall of Dixon Recreation. 1 ball and 1 strike. Camarillo back to the plate. The pride of UCSB misses with the fastball. Ball 2, 2-1. Frank making his 5th appearance. Big leg kick, delivers with a 2-1 pitch, down and away, ball 3. Frank has worked 7 innings, 5 hits, 3 earned runs, 6 walks. The pitch on the way, swung on and lifted down the right field line. A long run for Ethan Hedges. He nearly caught up with that one. Good effort. The ball does land in foul grounds on the warning track down the line. 3-2 the count to Jonas Salk. In 7 innings, 5 hits, 3 earned, 6 walks, 5 strikeouts, no decision for Frank Camarillo. Getting some work tonight here in the 8th, with the Knights leading 6-1, looking for their 8th straight win. Good off-speed pitch, swung on and missed, strike 3. Well, the Knights pitching has been brilliant tonight. Just 1 run and 1 hit for Kelowna now through 7 1/3. Jonas Salk, a tough night at the yard. 0 for 4 with 3 strikeouts. Luke Solis, the batter, he struck out twice and grounded to second. Luke swings and doesn't get it. No balls and 1 strike. Luke Solis out of UC San Diego in Chino Hills, California, plays at UC San Diego. Camarillo, strike 1 pitch, swung on and fouled back. No balls and 2 strikes. Camarillo back to the plate. Breaking ball grounded slowly to short. Yukimoto charges gloves, gets on top of it, and throws out Luke Solis. 2 down. Good play by Yukimoto. 1,478 in attendance tonight. And we hope to see you, many of you, here tomorrow in the homestand finale. Military Appreciation Night tomorrow night, presented by Pioneer Connect, 6:35. Camarillo delivers to Palfrey, a pop-up to shallow right. Sam Stem loses his cap as he calls off Mason Lee. Doesn't lose the baseball, though. Sam stays with it, makes the catch. A solid inning again for Knights pitching. Camarillo sets down the side in order. We go to the bottom of the 8th as the Knights close in on their 8th straight win. The Knights 6 and Kelowna 1 on the Knights live stream and 1240 Joe Radio. Bottom of the 8th inning, the Knights leading Kelowna 6-1. Blaine Hardy still in there for the Kelowna Falcons. J.C. Ng will lead things off. And Hardy's first pitch to J.C., a little bit low, ball 1-0. The Knights in Kelowna to wrap up the series tomorrow at 6:35. The Knights 3 outs away from winning the series. J.C. Ng takes a strike, 1-1 the count, and thus returning the favor to Kelowna. The Falcons took 2 of 3, July 3rd, 4th, and 5th at Elk Stadium in beautiful Kelowna, British Columbia. The pitch to J.C. on the outside corner, the count 1-2. J.C. has popped to short, walk, rounded to second, been hit by a pitch, and he scored the Knights' last run in the 6th. He takes a 1-2 pitch on the outside corner, strike 3. J.C. kind of hangs around the box with a degree of incredulity over the call. It did have a little bit of a feel, just a little, of the zone being expanded a bit, and these late innings and a 5-run lead for the Knights in the bottom of the 8th. Tyler Quinn takes a strike. Tyler has walked 3 times and scored a run. Blaine Hardy comes back with a strike 1 breaking ball, and that's in there. 0-2 the count to Tyler. Sam Stem on deck. Miles Gostola will be the starter for the Knights tomorrow in the finale. Breaking ball in the turf, and the count 1-2 to Tyler Quinn. Great to see John Casey in the ballpark tonight. John just came up to say hello, and he and his family, he said, Pat, they did not go. They didn't go to the All-Star game, but John was excited to talk about Adley. And the thing about John Casey, the pitch hit foul off to the right and out of play. In a very short time, no man gives me more enthusiasm and hope about Beaver sports than that young man, John Casey. The 1-2 pitch is high, ball 2, 2-2. Talked a little bit about Adley, and then said, Mike, we're going to be good in football. And that got me fired up. He's right. The 2-2 pitch, a chopper up along third. Gutierrez charges, gloves, off-balance throw, good play. One third baseman throws out the other, 2 down, and Sam Stem the batter. And he reeled off in a short, we had 90 seconds between, as we visited between innings. And he talked about DJ Uyunglele, and he talked about Damian Martinez, and he just said, we're going to be good. And he's right. My friend Casey's here tonight. He said he's going to be at San Jose State, and I wouldn't be surprised if the Caseys themselves end up in that Sunday night opener against Brent Brennan and San Jose State. Hoping for a better Sunday night to open a much anticipated season than what we experienced 22 years ago in Fresno. Sam Stem takes inside, ball 1. The 1-0 pitch, Sam pounds it foul at the plate. 1 ball and 1 strike the count. 2 down, nobody on, bottom of the 8th inning. The Knights leading Kelowna 6-1. In a sense, that feels like that's in the distant future. I need a Robert Heinlein or a Jack Finney or Ray Bradbury type of short story to make me think that far ahead. But it ain't that far ahead. I understand football just around the corner, but savoring these summer nights with Knights baseball heading down the stretch. 1 ball, 1 strike to Stem. Good pitch under the hand, swung on and missed, and Blaine Hardy ahead of the count to Sam at 1-2. 2 outs in the bottom of the 8th, 6-1 Knights, 6 runs and 8 hits. Kelowna just 1 base hit in this ball game, and that was back in the 2nd inning. A blooper to center for Trey Duffield. Stem, a ground ball to the left of Jonas Salk from the rim and shallow right. Makes the play to first, and the inning is over. The Knights go in order in the 8th. We go to the 9th, 3 outs away from their 8th straight win. The Knights 6 and Kelowna 1 on the Knights live stream and 1240 Joe Radio. Frank Camarillo to the plate. Palmera swings at the first pitch here in the top of the ninth. The fly ball to left field. Moving in and over is Levi Jones. One pitch, one out in the top of the ninth. The Knights leading Kelowna 6-1. And Kyle Corso will come to the plate unless we have a hitter for Kyle, and we might.
How about number 19, Jacob Delveni?
Jacob Delveni hits for Corso. Here in the top of the ninth inning, one out, nobody on. Camarillo delivers, and Delveni, wasting no time, attacks the first pitch, fouls it back. No balls and one strike, 6-1 Knights. Top of the ninth, temperatures dropping, breezes picking up. 1,478. Still here, enjoying a nice summer night. Camarillo just outside with a breaking ball. 1-1 the count. Big Frank, 6'4", 198. Good breaking ball. Swung on and missed, and the count 1-2 to Delveni. Jacob started last night's ball game. Good hitter, 289. Among the leaders in that category for Kelowna. Down in the count here, 1-2. Camarillo back to the plate. Breaking ball grounded off the end of the bat to the shortstop, Yukamoto, from near the bag. High fields and throws to first to retire Delveni. The Falcons are down to their final out with 2 down here in the top of the ninth. The Knights comfortably in front, 6-1, and out away from winning their 8th straight.
Now batting for the Falcons, the right fielder number 31, Trey Duffield.
Trey has the lone hit tonight for Kelowna back in the second inning. He swings and may get another one, and he does. A base hit to right field. Sam Stem plays it on a hop. Duffield aboard on an error, hit the ball hard in his last at bat. So he has been the one guy tonight against a trio of Knights pitchers, Jacob Wright, Nathan Marshall, and Frank Camarillo, that has gotten some good hacks in. Trevor Wilson, the batter. Top of the ninth inning, 2 down, a man aboard. The Knights leading 6-1 and out away from their 8th straight, and really enjoyed the conversation with Mason Lee before the game about how the guys are all in. That's what this organization's been all about, and they want to win yet another championship. And they're a little bit of a slow start, uncharacteristic this year for the Knights. And they seem to be finding their way impressively here coming down the stretch in the summer of 23. Wilson fouls the first pitch back, 0-1 the count. Trevor, with an RBI ground out in the second, takes a good breaking ball from Frank Camarillo in there for strike 2. The Falcons are down to their final strike here in the top of the ninth inning. Camarillo ready, and Frank with the strike 2 pitch on the way. Breaking ball taken, strike 3 called, and the ball game is over. Excellent way and a fitting way for this ball game to come to an end, in that it was dominant pitching for the Corvallis Knights tonight. A breaking ball for a called third strike is the appropriate way for this one to end. The fitting note. 6 runs, 8 hits, and an error for the Knights. Kelowna, 1 run and 2 hits, both hits collected by Trey Duffield. The winning pitcher is Jacob Wright. I hope to visit with Jacob tomorrow on our pregame show, which will air at 6:20. Ethan Hedges is our player of the ball game, brought to you by Washington Park Advisors. What a game for Ethan. He singled in the first and stole a bag. He doubled home 2 runs in the third and stole another bag. Walked and scored and had an RBI single. A 3 RBI night for Ethan Hedges. And so the Knights win it by a final score of 6-1, their 8th straight win. They will be back at it tomorrow night looking for their 3rd consecutive sweep and their 9th straight win behind the pitching tomorrow of Miles Gostola. Great pitching tonight. Jacob Wright, Nathan Marshall, and Frank Camarillo. Workmanlike work done offensively, and Ethan Hedges leading the way. Our final score, The Corvallis Knights 6 and Kelowna 1. We'll see you tomorrow night at 6:20. Right back here on the Knights live stream on Military Appreciation Night, presented by Pioneer Connect, the Oregon Army National Guard, and Marcotte Distilling. For Casey Lavin and company, Mike Parker thanking you for joining us. The Knights win again, 6-1 over Kelowna. See you tomorrow on the Knights live stream and 1240 Joe Radio.